Thank you again for listening and watching Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game. And don't forget to join us Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern for the Sports Zone.
Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
It's been said the night is always darkest just before the dawn. Maybe you can relate right now. But make no mistake about it, a new day is dawning. Opportunity and promise are on the horizon for all of us. And just like in high school sports, we'll trust honesty, empathy, hard work, and humility to bring out the best in us and show us the way. The IHSAA will look for you at a high school game or meet very soon.
Hey everybody, it's Coach from Indiana SRN. Don't forget to listen to Sports Zone every day right here, 11 to 12 noon Eastern. Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
It's coming. It's coming. IPSathletics.tv. High school sports on the World Wide Web. Every big game on IPSathletics.tv. Football, volleyball, basketball, and much more. Coming this fall, IPSathletics.tv. Let the games begin.
Do you want to hear your favorite team on IndianaSRN.org? It's easy to do, calling all the play-by-play and colored commentary. High school sports along with youth sport, Mr. Wizard is waiting for your call. Contact him at 317-443-0052. We're ready for every touchdown, basket, and goal. Contact Mr. Wizard, 317-443-0052.
Hello, this is Deb from Indiana SRN, and I'm here to say thank you to our loyal sponsors, schools, coaches, and friends. Your support continues to keep high school athletics on internet radio and webcast. It is our goal to highlight student athletes throughout our great state. We are scheduled to broadcast over 300 games this season, and you can find us broadcasting at high school football stadiums, basketball and volleyball courts, baseball and softball diamonds, next to the wrestling mats, at lacrosse fields, and the soccer pitch. If you would like to know more about how to get your favorite school on radio or webcast, contact us by email at coach@indianasrn.org. Coach has enjoyed his time with you during the Sports Zone show. Thank you again. And if you're enjoying this show or would like to sponsor any of our broadcasts, you can contact us via email at coach@indianasrn.org. Thank you again for listening and watching Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game. And don't forget to join us Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern for the Sports Zone.
Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
It's the Sports Zone with Keith Myers and the Indiana SRN sports team. Made possible by Morales Group, College Hunks and Movers, the IHSAA, and Aspen Creek Grill. Now, let's join Keith and his guests.
Well, good morning. It is the Sports Zone on Indiana SRN. Thank you very much for listening today. On the hotline is our good friend from Triton Central High School, Tim Abel, head football coach. Hey, Tim, how are you this morning?
Just wonderful.
You know, it's been interesting. We've been locked up now for over 30 days. I think my wife has counted 31 days and counting, and I can't wait till things get back to normal, whatever that normal may look like. I'm sure you're the same way with teaching and e-learning and all those things, but how things going, and how do you feel confident that we're going to get back?
Yeah, I feel confident we're going to get back, just don't know when, and it's a feeling that you don't know for sure, even when you think you're going to get back. So it's a time where we're all refocusing, we're reconnecting in different ways through social media. We're keeping track with our boys, obviously teaching school. Just got done with some of my morning schoolwork to try to finish up the week, and just trying to enjoy the time we have together, my wife and I. Kind of missed our grandson's birthday. We had to do that on FaceTime. Can't kind of go to their house anymore and all that stuff. So everybody's in the same boat. You've just got to adjust to it and learn from it. And we'll be better for it in the long run.
Let's talk a little bit about the success that you guys had at Triton Central this past football season. We got to do your regional final at home against Evansville Rights, a game that Sean and I still talk about to this day, that you had the ball the whole entire third quarter and scored the first play of the fourth quarter to probably seal that win. That just when your team had that third quarter, talk a little bit about that team, and especially that third quarter, because you had to make some big time third down plays to keep that drive alive.
Well, it was a fun quarter that went by so fast. I didn't even realize until the next day when I watched things that we had done that. Actually, people, I guess, maybe were telling me, but I hadn't realized while I was going through it, because you're just so focused on the next play and how they're adjusting to what you're doing. Obviously, to get to that third quarter, we had to have a good first half against Mater Dei. We came out and we were able to stop them on 3 downs, and then on a 4th down near their end zone, we blocked the punt, got it down to about the 1, took it in to score. It's always great in any game, especially in a game like that of that magnitude, that you get out on top early and get momentum going. And obviously at Tiger Stadium, the place got really rowdy, and just one of those magical first halves. And then halftime we went in and did a lot of talking, and football players were very good. I have some really smart kids, a lot of academic, all-conference kids on our team, probably the most I've ever had on one team, a lot of academic all-state kids. And anyway, at halftime, we made great adjustments offensively, and we went back to be a little bit more basic and simple, because we just felt like we had some edges on certain formations and certain motions. And we had a fake punt still in our arsenal, and we got, once you get past the 50, you've got 4 downs to get a first down. And so we were taking advantage of the 3rd and 4th down scenario. And fortunate for us, we were able to hang on to it that whole third quarter so that they couldn't kind of get back into it. So when you get up early in the third quarter or in the start of fourth quarter, a couple touchdowns, you're feeling pretty good. But to their credit, they came back, and it was a close game. Comes back to the onside kick, and one of our players made another great adjustment and was able to make the recovery on the onside kick, which again they'd come back and score on us, and it was kind of a scary thing. Just neat effort. Just want to give credit to the year before. Our kids really had an opportunity until we had some key injuries. We lost Aaron Still, our quarterback, and our defensive back had 24 picks in his career. We lost him game 8. We felt like we had a chance that year also to make that same kind of a run. But I think that helped these kids last year to have the confidence that they could go and take the next step.
Let's talk a little bit about your conference. Your conference is a very brutal conference. You look at the teams that were in that conference. You looked at Indianapolis Lutheran, which was in that conference, was in the state championship game. Really looked like they were going to win a championship, missed a field goal. Lafayette CC scores late in the game. But you have, Indianapolis Cecina is in that game, that conference as well. Beech Grove, really some good teams, and now Cascade has started in that conference, which will even make that conference a little bit stronger football-wise.
Yeah, it's a very difficult conference. That Lutheran game 3 last year, was really a really good game, and we had a couple key injuries in that game and was missing a player that game. So we felt real good playing them that tough because we knew they were very good. And at the end of the game, I told Coach Pash, you have a real good chance to win the state. Just stay healthy. And we play in our conference too. There's Monroe, who's won state championship and been there to the final game a couple times in their recent history. And you had Indianapolis Ritter, a state champ program. Cecina, you just go right down the list, and you got 4A Beech Grove with all their talent each and every year. It's a conference that gets us prepared greatly for the tournament run. Years ago, our school was not in that difficult of a conference, and oftentimes would have 8, 9, 10 wins going in the tournament, but hadn't played good enough competition to prepare for the tournament. So we know now during the season we kind of have a feel for what we have going into the tournament, and we enjoy the challenge each and every year.
Coach, now that you're at Triton Central and you've been there, I think 9 or 10 years, you reflect back when you first started coaching, what key individual made a difference for you to know that this is what you wanted to do the rest of your life is coach high school football?
Well, I think that went way back. I remember Coach Lips, basketball coach at Martinsville, former AD, in freshman science class. He wanted us all to think about what we wanted to do with our life. And I said, well, I know I'm not going to be a professional athlete, so I'm going to stay involved in sports. And I know I'm going to be a teacher and a coach, and it wasn't too much longer. My 8th grade basketball coach, Coach Imge, was delivering the Sunday Indianapolis Star paper and saw him, and he asked me what I was studying for, and I said, well, I'm going to be a teacher and a coach. He goes, are you sure you want to get in that profession? Because they understand the difficulty. There's when things are going great, no problem. If things aren't going so good, it's all your fault.
Yeah, so, exactly.
So yeah, I knew a long time ago that that's what I was put here on this earth to do, and enjoy doing it, enjoy watching the kids grow. That's probably the most fun part of coaching is just watching the kids mature from a freshman to a senior. You see kids who you think, man, when they're freshmen, how are we ever going to get them on the field? And then their senior year, through hard work and effort, they come out and able to play and contribute greatly to a program. And so we feel like we got that same kind of a kids coming back next year. We're excited for it. Got a big physical team coming back. We're going to have more length than we've probably had in many seasons. A lot of 6'1", 6'2", 6'3" guys. And so it's going to be interesting. We'll see how it goes. Like every year, you got to stay healthy. Things have got to roll your way on certain days. And oftentimes you face opponents who get an injured person back, or sometimes you get an opponent who's missing somebody. So sometimes those matchups hit just right. And fortunate for us, last year we were really healthy going into that modern day game, and we were able to pull it off.
Coach, we're going to take a 2-minute break. When we come back, we have a lot more for you, okay? We'll be back right after this. You're listening to the Sports Zone on IndianaSRN.
There's no greater anti-poverty measure than to give a person a job. That helps them start to change that trajectory. Thousands of people get jobs here from all of these diverse backgrounds. We're helping write that story of that better future that we know they can get, we know that they deserve.
Morales Group is a full-service staffing company that provides temporary labor in the Indianapolis, Central Indiana market.
Come talk to us. We would love to work with you.
So you called us because you're stressed from all that clutter taking up your space. The best part is we do all the heavy lifting for you, so you can just sit back and relax. Our hunks call at least 20 to 30 minutes prior to your appointment window. You don't need to lift a finger except to point what items you would like us to haul away. Thanks again for choosing College Hunks Hauling Junk, and we look forward to providing you with a stress-free hauling experience.
You're listening to IndianaSRN, God's Word 24/7, and sports.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in Indiana, who do you meet? Answer. Men and women who played high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Question. So where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer. High school sports.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Craving comfort fresh food made from scratch daily? Check out Aspen Creek Grill. Located across from Hamilton Town Center and beside the Holiday Inn, we offer family farm-raised premium Black Agnes steaks hand-cut daily, creamy pastas, salmon chicken, and fall-off-the-bone ribs. Start with our famous powwow shrimp appetizer and don't miss our refreshing drinks. Family friendly or a great night out with friends. Aspen Creek Grill. Aspen Creek Grill, Noblesville. Call 317-559-3300.
You're listening to Indiana SRN, home for God's Word 24/7 and sports. Back on the Sports Zone show, Keith Myers. Thanks to Tim Abel for joining us this morning. Coach, we thank you for your time and spending some time with us and rekindling our together that friendship once again.
Well, thank you so much for covering us. It's really neat when our kids get covered on television, and our fans and our media guy, Steve Still, does a great job of capturing all that kind of stuff and sharing that information out to our fans.
Yeah, it's kind of neat to work with Steve. He takes the video and makes us look really good. We really appreciate what he does. Coaching, closing the conversation here, you had so many people in your life that directed you. If there's a young coach or maybe a kid who's thinking about being a coach, what are 3 things that you would tell him that was necessary to be successful on the field and in life?
Well, first thing is you got to count the cost. You got to make sure you really want to go into something where timing is very crucial in coaching. You got to get people on the field that are players, but you also got to develop them. And sometimes that happens exactly how you want. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you have injuries. So you got to count the cost. It's a profession that has a lot of upside, but also there's that time where your cycle of talent maybe is down a little bit, and you got to just be able to handle the pressure that comes with that. Second thing is I use this in my on my emails: let no man outwork you today. If you're going to be good at anything in life, you got to put the time and the effort in. You got to sharpen your saw, sharpen your axe every day. Every day you're either getting better or you get worse. You're never going to stay the same. And third most important thing is have a loyal wife that can handle coaching football. It's a lot of time commitment, and my 2 kids and my wife are very supportive over the years, and that's not easy to find. It is really difficult for young ladies to understand how much time and effort it takes to, especially during your football season, to get everything accomplished that needs to be done so the boys are ready to play on Friday nights.
You know, we are both blessed that we have great women behind us who does that. Iron sharpens irons for sure, and sometimes that wife is the most sharpened iron piece that you have in your life, that's for sure.
Yes, she's a school teacher and former coach. Back in the day, she was a girls' gymnastics coach. My daughter was on the team, and I was the assistant, which really meant I was the mat mover, bus driver, and just be there to support her. So that was kind of interesting time in our life.
Yeah, I could just see you as the assistant gymnastics coach. In fact, the next time I see you, Coach, maybe you could show me a dismount or something.
I would not be a good example of what to do in gymnastics. However, I have found I've coached baseball. I was a varsity baseball coach. I've done basketball. All sports are related in ways psychologically, but also physically. The mechanics, everything carries over. And believe it or not, each sport has something that you can carry over to another sport. And so obviously I was more of the conditioning training coach and the help of the psychology approach. But my wife, she was in the technical skills.
I appreciate it. Hey, thanks for your time today, Coach. Football season's coming around the corner, and we'll see you again. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. We're looking forward to it.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Sports Zone on IndianaSRN.
Piper Group Warehouse has a strong commitment to their clients as their logistics provider. If you would like to discover how you can improve your service levels while lowering your overall cost, Piper Logistics Group can help. Call Greg Piper today at 317-396-3916. Piper Logistics Group.
Hi, welcome to Dog & Sons. For over 50 years, and once again, it's that time of year to pull on in, roll down the windows, and enjoy the fun and leisurely drive-in atmosphere only at Dog & Sons. If you've never been to our Lafayette Dog & Sons, what are you waiting for? It's a time-honored tradition and a drive-in experience that can't be beat. If you're one of our loyal patrons, welcome back. We know you've missed our award-winning root beer and our world-famous Coney dogs. Put your windows down and wake up those hibernating taste buds for here to go.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in Indiana, who do you meet? Answer. Men and women who played high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Question. So where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer. High school sports.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Do you want to hear your favorite team on IndianaSRN.org? It's easy to do, calling all the play-by-play and colored commentary. High school sports along with youth sport, Mr. Wizard is waiting for your call. Contact him at 317-443-0052. We're ready for every touchdown, basket, and goal. Contact Mr. Wizard, 317-443-0052. You're listening to Indiana SRN, home for God's Word 24/7 and sports. Back on the Sports Zone on Indiana SRN. Thank you very much for joining us. Joining us on the hotline, a guy that we covered Cloverdale basketball for a long time, and we missed you last year. It's Patrick Rainey. Hey, Patrick, how are you?
Hey, Coach, how you doing? We missed you too. Hopefully down the road we can get things to where we get you guys back covering Cloverdale basketball again.
We had a fun 2.5 years covering those years, and last year was an off year for us, but we're looking forward to it. Let's talk a little bit about your season. You had an up and down season, played well at the end of the year. Park Heritage wins that sectional first time in the school history, and was going to go to a regional, and then things got cut short. I know you were going to go to that regional, and hopefully we would catch up with you. But talk a little bit about the end of the year for Cloverdale. Talk a little bit about Park Heritage, and talk about what you missed in regional-wise.
I think at the end of the year, I thought our kids still believed that we could win the sectional. And I think, one of the things – as a coach, you want to be playing, you want to still see improvement as the year goes on. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes teams peak early in the year. Sometimes teams never peak. But I thought our kids weathered through some adversity. I think we had injuries and those kind of things. And, we don't want to make excuses. But at the end of the year, we had got everybody healthy, and I thought that we had a great game plan, and I thought our kids executed it, and Park Heritage, extremely good team, very good. They were ranked for a reason. They had great inside-outside presence, phenomenal freshman player, Christian Johnson. So I thought we did a great job. We had it was a tie game late in the game, and we had a couple shots, and then we had to foul at the end in the last within the last minute or so, which made the score kind of go larger than really what the game was. I think I would have been anxious to see how Park Heritage would have done the regional. I think they would have fared well. I don't know. We hadn't seen Shenandoah since we played them. I know they're a very good opponent, but Park Heritage had a lot of pieces. They can beat you on the inside as well, and they've had a really good guard, as I said earlier. So when you can score in multiple ways like that, I think sometimes post defense is not something that's not worked on as much because Coach, that a lot of times now the post is not irrelevant the way the game is played now, and so I think not every team does a good job of guarding the post, and I think Park Heritage having 2 post players, and then they even bring one off the bench that can post. You have to be able to guard the post. You got to be able to have your help defense, and so it poses a problem for teams because a lot, now you see a lot of 4 out, 5 out. Everybody wants to play behind the perimeter. You get the analytics that say threes or layups, those kind of things. So it's one of those where you don't necessarily see a team that's really going to post you up all year, and so that would be interesting to see how that would have played out. I do think that they would have it would have been a great game, regional Saturday is still probably the favorite for me, because you play 2 games, just being a historian of the game like I am. That was the one thing that I missed when we went from one class to class is the regional, semi-state, and state finals. I love when teams played more than one game. You got that break in between. You go out and eat, and it's just a fun day, especially when you get nice weather and the sunlight's coming in. It just brought back a lot of memories. As a kid growing up, following my dad's teams, the tailgates or the caravans that would go, and it just there's just something was special about March. And it was just sad that that we had the March that we did this year. But I think we have to look at it as a way. We have to keep people healthy, and we have to obey orders and those kind of things. So it was definitely a disappointment because March is for me. That's my favorite month.
Yeah. We talk a lot about basketball, and people saying, well, it's May 4th and you guys are still talking high school basketball. Well, high school basketball never dies in the state of Indiana, and especially when you're talking to a Rainey man. I tell you what, basketball is the king still in the state of Indiana. No fault of other sports, but it's always fun talking basketball with you, Patrick. And, you talk about your dad's teams, and, that was your role model. And if people don't know about your dad, one of the winningest coaches in the state of Indiana, one of the greatest guys, and loves to put away donuts like no one ever believes, because Pat Rainey and Pat Rainey shared donuts together a lot of Friday nights and a lot of Friday mornings getting ready for high school basketball.
Yeah. More, it was donuts mid-morning, and if we got a good win, it would be pizza after the game, and then you would watch a Western. That's when I would check out, when the Westerns went on. But that's how he celebrated wins. Never saw the man drink a drop of alcohol in my life. But and he was one that he has always been true to his word. Man of strong faith. One of the things players still remember his last word on whether it was a Friday night or Saturday night. If we played a double weekend, it'd be Saturday. If it was one night game on Friday, he would always say, have a great weekend, make wise decisions, and I hope you attend the church of your choice. Yeah. And I think, that was something that he lived by, and he still does. So I always respected that. I think players still remember him saying that, and it was because it was sincere. It came from the heart, and he practiced what he preached. and I think that says something there. If you ever were able to be in a pregame speech, or one of the greatest motivators that I've ever been around.
He was a great motivator as a basketball official, Coach, because he used to yell at me down in Terre Haute. So, hey, Coach, we're going to take a 2-minute break. And no offense of your dad. I think you yelled at some officials too back in those days. But we're going to take a 2-minute. We're going to take a 2-minute break. We're going to talk to you about your favorite memory of all when we come back. Okay, Coach? Mm-hmm. We'll take a 2-minute break. We'll be back right after this. You're listening to the Sports Zone on IndianaSRN, where you're always in the game.
There's no greater anti-poverty measure than to give a person a job. That helps them start to change that trajectory. Thousands of people get jobs here from all of these diverse backgrounds. We're helping write that story of that better future that we know they can get. We know that they deserve.
Morales Group is a full-service staffing company that provides temporary labor in the Indianapolis, Central Indiana market.
Come talk to us. We would love to work with you.
So you called us because you're stressed from all that clutter taking up your space. The best part is we do all the heavy lifting for you, so you can just sit back and relax. Our hunks call at least 20 to 30 minutes prior to your appointment window. You don't need to lift a finger except to point what items you would like us to haul away. Thanks again for choosing College Hunks Hauling Junk, and we look forward to providing you with a stress-free hauling experience.
You're listening to IndianaSRN, God's Word 24/7, and sports.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in Indiana, who do you meet? Answer. Men and women who played high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Question. So where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer. High school sports.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Craving comfort fresh food made from scratch daily? Check out Aspen Creek Grill. Located across from Hamilton Town Center and beside the Holiday Inn, we offer family farm-raised premium Black Agnes steaks hand-cut daily, creamy pastas, salmon chicken, and fall-off-the-bone ribs. Start with our famous powwow shrimp appetizer, and don't miss our refreshing drinks. Family-friendly or a great night out with friends. Aspen Creek Grill. Aspen Creek Grill, Noblesville. Call 317-559-3300.
You're listening to IndianaSRN, home for God's Word 24/7 and sports. Hey everybody, it's Coach from IndianaSRN. Don't forget to listen to Sports Zone every day right here, 11 to 12 noon Eastern. IndianaSRN, where you're always in the game. It is the Sports Zone. Patrick Rainey joins us from Cloverdale High School. How are you, Coach?
I'm great.
As we wrap things up, talk a little bit about your memories. You talk about the history and how you studied the game and how you've studied the history of the game, but there's got to be a lot of memories. So talk about your favorite memory that you can recollect.
Wow. There's so many. Probably my most where I was the most when we were at Shelbyville in the mid probably 77 to 1980, probably most impressionable as I was second, third, fourth, fifth grade there, and I can remember Columbus. Being at Columbus, and the first time that we won the regional, believe they beat Columbus East, I think, and then going to the semi-state and at Hinkle Fieldhouse and that sunlight coming through. It was just like I was just a kid in awe, and I knew that's what we wanted to do, or I wanted to do, when I got older. And then the following year, I can remember they played Muncie Central, and it was a game that went down the wire. I don't think Shelbyville was even supposed to be in the game, and then it was just like a wild. It was just a wild game. Muncie Central, I think Coach Harold, they always wanted to be the last team out, so that they would hear the roar of the crowd, and you would hear the roar of their fans, and that would be a little intimidating, So Dad said, we're going to go out last. We're not going to let them, and I can remember that.
Yeah.
And so Muncie Central and Cloverdale, why I said Cloverdale, Shelbyville, are standing there right there. And, Muncie Central's like, hey, you need to go. And then they are, I think it was Coach Harold. They said somebody came, like it was a manager, came down and said, Coach Harold said, you guys need to take the floor. And my dad looked up and he said, he's not going to tell us when to take the floor. So he goes, there must really be something to this. So it was weird. It just, just to see, I think both teams end up getting like 10 minutes to warm up. And so they had really gotten into, I think, Muncie Central psychic a little bit there. And then at the end of the game, there was a foul that was called, and it was actually Mr. Kraft that played for Milan, his son Mark. He got fouled, and they were going to wave it off. They were saying just go to overtime, and there was two officials at the time, and we're just kind of like wondering what's going to happen. They're getting ready to go over and kind of throw it up to overtime, and my dad, just like I remember, just plain as day, went over to the official that was sitting down. He's like, you saw it. Did you, was there time? And the guy just kind of like looked. He said, can I ask you, can you? And he's kind of like shook his head no. And he goes, if they ask you, and he nodded his head yes. So he like almost ran out there. They were getting ready to throw off the tip for overtime. So he said, just go over and ask him. Well, they went over and asked him. They were asking, was there time on the clock? Yes. And so they hit the free throws, and they had ended Muncie Central's reign of, I think I don't know if they'd been back to back, but that was one of the wildest games, and they had then got beat by Broad Ripple that night.
Yeah.
With the great Stacy Turan team.
Boy.
And yeah, so that was the memory for me, and then we had so many at Terre Haute South that the Final Four run, the team in '82 when it went down and got beat by Bossy in overtime. That was in the Final 8 game, there was just so many there that I knew that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a coach, and it was because of March.
Yeah.
And you say this is May that we're talking about basketball. That's just Indiana, and especially May. We usually pause and talk about race cars, but we're not going to be able to do that this year. So why not keep talking about basketball?
Might as well talk about basketball, exactly. Coach, hey, thanks so much for your time today. I appreciate it. I know you're really busy getting schoolwork because you're in e-learning and all those things, but we bless you. We hope that your daughter's doing well and, a great athlete. Maybe the next time I talk to you, we'll just talk about her great career that she's had, because I know you're very proud of her.
Oh, definitely. And, we're blessed that she's at Anderson University. She wanted a faith-based school. And so she's went on a mission trip already, and she's playing volleyball. a setter there, but we're definitely proud of her and would definitely love to talk about her.
I know Mama would love to hear that too. So
yes.
Thanks, Patrick. I'll talk to you soon.
Hey, thank you, Coach.
We'll take a break. We'll be back with your more right after this. You're listening to Sports Zone on Indiana SRN. Hey everybody, it's Coach from Indiana SRN. Don't forget to listen to Sports Zone every day right here, 11 to 12 noon Eastern, Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game. It is the Sports Zone on Indiana SRN. Thank you very much for joining us. It is a gorgeous day outside. Hope that you're enjoying it. Join us now on the hotline, our very first Twitter person ever. Sally Eckel joins us. And Sally, it's been a long time ago, but thank you for being a follower, and thank you for continuing to follow us, and thank you for listening to the show every day.
Well, thank you for doing what you do. I really appreciate it. As a crazy sports person and with nephews and a niece in sports, I got to keep up to date with not only what Heritage Christian is doing, but the other schools they play for down the road competition. I guess I'm the spy, that it comes back with the intel for the nephews and the niece, that kind of thing. But you do more than just the sports. You are very much into the community, into the church, which means a lot to me. And I like to support people that, believe what I believe.
Talk a little bit about the history with you following sports. Did you grow up a sports person? Was there somebody in your family who said, okay, Sally, this is baseball, this is basketball, or did it just grow on you?
My dad and I, a lot of sports. I did tennis, I did basketball, I did softball. He was actually my softball coach, grade school, junior high. And we traveled, did a traveling team and everything. And it was all, he went to Michigan State. My mom does IU, so we're a Big Ten family. And so we always watched football, always watched basketball, always watched wrestling, any sport, we were watching it. So I kind of grew up in a sports family. I played, and then obviously my nephews and niece play. So I just we're just sports people.
You when you followed us, I don't think you realized how big Indiana SRN, because at that point we were only maybe 3 radio stations. Now we're 12. We have three TV stations. Now we'll expand to 4 if God's willing, and get this academic over so we can raise some funds to get that done. But what is it that, because there are games that you watch or you tweet that you're not even involved in. What is it that hits that spot for you for high school sports at Indiana SRN?
I just like the program that you provide for the public and for the schools. You're very involved with what the kids are doing. The commentating is amazing. You joke around, have fun, but you're very serious. You do it very professionally, and it feels like you're there at the game if you can't be there. I know some games I couldn't make, so I'd have you on my phone hidden in a little corner at work, still watching the game, even though I'm not supposed to. But I would still be very involved, even if I wasn't there. I've got friends that have kids at different high schools, so I like to see what's going on there. My nephews have friends at other schools, and they play. So like Ed at Chittard, that's one of Harrison's buddies. I like to see what he's doing. He's an amazing kid, and he's gonna succeed also. So it's just fun watching the kids grow throughout the years, and I can kind of follow them, but not necessarily be at every game.
You walk through your day by day, and the crazy thing is you shared with me maybe a couple months ago that all of a sudden people are following you because you follow us, and you were amazed by that. But, our followers has been picked up a lot since we started doing this show, and the listening base has increased daily. Is it the brand that we're doing, or is it because we're honoring, first of all, we honor Christ because we don't hide that we're Christian and it's a Christian company, but people are very in tune, especially now with the Sports Zone, as we talked about before you went on the air. People want to hear people, and they get encouraged by the stories that, you hear Commissioner Paul Neidig or Kerry Slunecker or Coach Mike Kirshner, those people encourage those other people to be involved and get involved, because I think our whole entire life will change because of what we're doing now to encourage people.
I totally agree. I mean, it's very uplifting, and I am a Christian, and I think that's very important in my life, and I know it is in yours also. And I just think it's important to, give back. And I like the brand. It's important to have, people sponsor you so you can get that fourth radio channel. You can reach so many people, even if they can't be there. Like, I know my uncle in Chicago watched Harrison's games because he was in Chicago and he could pick you guys up on the web. You reach so many people, and you do have messages when there's commercials in between this and that. And it's very good. It's very uplifting. It's just positive, and that's what we all need right now. And if people can't watch the kids, you can always jump on your web or listen to it if it's not on, to still be there.
Sally, thank you so much. Are you ready for this little quiz?
Oh my. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Would you rather watch Gilligan's Island or Andy Griffith?
Andy Griffith.
Taco Bell or Burger King?
Ooh. If I had to pick, I'd say Burger King.
Disappointing. I need a burrito supreme. Spinach or carrots?
Carrots.
Spending all day with Barney Fife or Gomer Pyle?
Oh my. Both would be adventurous.
Yes.
I'd say Gomer Pyle.
See, Gomer reminds me of Harrison, so that would be good. That would be really good.
I would like to listen to him sing.
Jim Neighbors could sing, that's for sure.
Yes.
Couple more here. Cake or pie?
Pie.
Bacon or link sausage?
Bacon.
Okay, last one. Popcorn or pretzels?
Popcorn.
Popcorn at Heritage Christian.
Christian, yes, their popcorn is the bomb.
Cannot, they won the Golden Colonel Award this year, so that award is back up for grabs in the fall, and hopefully we'll have some football to watch. And again, thank you for your input today. I know that you've been busy, but thanks for stopping by this morning.
My pleasure, anytime, and God bless.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back. You're listening to IndianaSRN and the Sports Zone right after this. You're listening to the Sports Zone on IndianaSRN. Hey everybody, it's Coach from IndianaSRN. Don't forget to listen to Sports Zone every day right here, 11 to 12 noon Eastern, IndianaSRN, where you're always in the game.
If you find yourself confronted by unwanted pests in your home or office, then you need to contact the professionals at Kim Mountain Pest Control. We offer quality pest control solutions at an affordable price. We specialize in ants and termites. We're also available to handle a variety of other pests, including roaches, fleas, and flying insects, as well as rats and mice. Don't wait until pests cause severe damage to your home or property. Contact the team of experts at Kim Mountain Pest Control today.
You're listening to IndianaSRN, God's Word 24/7 and sports.
There's no greater anti-poverty measure than to give a person a job. That helps them start to change that trajectory. Thousands of people get jobs here from all of these diverse backgrounds. We're helping write that story of that better future that we know they can get. We know that they deserve.
Morales Group is a full-service staffing company that provides temporary labor in the Indianapolis, Central Indiana market.
Come talk to us. We would love to work with you.
So you called us because you're stressed from all that clutter taking up your space. The best part is we do all the heavy lifting for you, so you can just sit back and relax. Our hunks call at least 20 to 30 minutes prior to your appointment window. You don't need to lift a finger except to point what items you would like us to haul away. Thanks again for choosing College Hunks Hauling Junk, and we look forward to providing you with a stress-free hauling experience.
You're listening to IndianaSRN, God's Word 24/7 and sports.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in Indiana, who do you meet? Answer: men and women who played high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Question: so where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer: high school sports.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Craving comfort fresh food made from scratch daily? Check out Aspen Creek Grill. Located across from Hamilton Town Center and beside the Holiday Inn, we offer family farm-raised premium Black Agnes steaks hand-cut daily, creamy pastas, salmon chicken, and fall-off-the-bone ribs. Start with our famous powwow shrimp appetizer, and don't miss our refreshing drinks. Family-friendly or a great night out with friends. Aspen Creek Grill. Aspen Creek Grill, Noblesville. Call 317-559-3300.
You're listening to Indiana SRN, home for God's Word 24/7 and sports. It is the Sports Zone on Indiana SRN. Hello, who's on the air?
Well, who do you think's on the air? This is the old-time broadcaster from IndianaSRN/HCSN. How's that?
How's that? You did really well. We got about 4 or 5 minutes to kill. Thanks for calling today. Are you always listening to the show? You're usually in the parking lot or shopping or doing something. You're always listening to the show.
Shopping? You can't go shopping now.
Okay.
Man,
okay.
I know it's been a month, but, we're still kind of hunkered down a little bit. But
since we have you on the phone, let's see how good you are at Green Bay Packer trivia.
Oh, man, here we go.
You ready?
Yes.
Okay. Question number 1. What were the Green Bay Packers originally called?
The Acme Packers.
Number 2, ready? What Green Bay Packer holds the team record for the most passing yardage in a season?
Well, that would have to be Brett Favre.
No, Aaron Rodgers, 4,643 yards. He did it in 2011.
You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me here.
Who was the receiving end of Brett Favre's first completed pass?
Who was the receiving end?
Uh-huh.
It was Brett Favre.
That's correct. He did it in 1992 against Tampa Bay. Okay. Hey, you're catching up here, Bill. What is the Green Bay Packers fans commonly called?
What is the what now?
What are the Green Bay Packers fans commonly called?
Well, we're the cheeseheads,
there you
man.
go.
Come on.
See, you're even. You're 2 for 2. Question number 5. Who was the first Green Bay Packer who gained more than 8,000 yards rushing?
Jimmy Taylor.
You're right. Hey, there you go. You're above 500. Here you go. Last one. You ready?
Okay.
What original team drafted Brett Favre and then traded him?
Well, that was the Atlanta Falcons.
There you go. See, Bill Ludlow, the Green Bay Packer Noah. See, I got to get you some trivia.
I'm gonna have to quit doing that,
No. I want you to keep calling. You're the only call I get.
Oh, you want me to quit calling? I see. I see.
I want you to keep calling because you're the only call I get.
Okay.
Hey, we got to wrap.
I have listened to this show since you started this Sports Zone, and you've had a lot of great guests on there. I like the one with Blackman. You did Blackman. I remember Coach Heglinski. I think the day you had Blackman, didn't you have Troy Burgess on there?
Yeah, Troy Burgess and Rob Blackman. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Coach Burgess is now. He's in Frontier, which isn't too far from College Town, Purdue down the road there.
You could call that West Lafayette. That's God's, that's God's country.
It is West Lafayette. It is.
That's God's country.
Huh?
That's God's country.
Well, but you go further south, that's really, it's kind of cool because you're a big Purdue fan. I'm a big IU fan, but we kid around and out a lot about each other, about the schools, but both institutions, both schools, do a wonderful job, and just appreciate that they are here in Indiana. And
hey, Bill, we got to wrap up this Monday. Thanks very much for joining us, and we thank you for joining us. Join us again on Tuesday. It's been the Sports Zone on Indiana SRN.
Hello, this is Deb from IndianaSRN, and I'm here to say thank you to our loyal sponsors, schools, coaches, and friends. Your support continues to keep high school athletics on internet radio and webcast. It is our goal to highlight student athletes throughout our great state. We are scheduled to broadcast over 300 games this season, and you can find us broadcasting at high school football stadiums, basketball and volleyball courts, baseball and softball diamonds, next to the wrestling mats, at lacrosse fields, and the soccer pitch. If you would like to know more about how to get your favorite school on radio or webcast, contact us by email at coach@indianasrn.org. Coach has enjoyed his time with you during the Sports Zone show. Thank you again. And if you're enjoying this show or would like to sponsor any of our broadcasts, you can contact us via email at coach@indianasrn.org. Thank you again for listening and watching Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game. And don't forget to join us Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern for the Sports Zone.
Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.